Well, well. How are you doing, chat? How's it going? How's it going over there? How are you all doing? Hope you're having a nice Friday so far. It's 6 minutes past midnight for me, so ideal streaming time. Let me know if the sound levels are okay. Music seems a little bit low, but I don't know. Let me know what you think. Today, here's what we're doing today. I'm going to be colouring this scene of Vader here. It's 84 frames long. So I've got like this stuff at the start that I need to shade, so I'll do that on the stream. Here's what I got shaded so far. It's not like super timed properly or anything, but you know, he's just giving his commands to this guy here. This guy's going to go off and do the commands. That's my explanation and I'm sticking to it. So here's the full thing. We have all of these frames to shade. And yeah, so that's what I'm doing today. This is for, in case anyone was wondering, this is for the TIE Fighter Total Conversion mod that Angel and the team are working on. Some of whom are in the chat actually. Chat's flying by a bit fast. It's hard to keep up with. Yeah, so if you don't know, it's an update. It's a very nice graphical and gameplay update to the old TIE Fighter game, bringing it into 2021 graphics pretty much. It's very tasty, and I'm reanimating the old opening sequence for them. So that's what I'm working on. Here's something I'll show you. Here's one of the shots I did for it. It's probably the most capital ships I've animated and coloured and shaded on a screen at once. So it took a while. It looks pretty nice, especially towards the end there when you see the planet and the engines. Love the Super Star Destroyer. I love the Super Star Destroyer. Here you go, you can have it again. Look, Mackie's here. Might want to make the stream a little more descriptive next time. I was just watching a video about clickbait and how to title your videos. Yeah, it's a good point. So I should like, you won't believe what I'm animating, or the Star Wars anime you never knew existed, or some bullshit like that. That could work perfectly. So yeah. So I guess we'll get shading. I don't have any coffee yet. I'm gonna work for an hour, then I'll take a coffee break. The rebels are unprepared for our attack. So we have shaded half of it, and I'm gonna work backwards and shade the rest. Ooh, what's this? Yeah, I can add subtitles, why not? Why not? I don't have a license for my animations, it's true. Living in the UK, but yeah, I mean, I'm not playing TIE Fighter today, so I might actually be able to interact with chat a bit. Okay, so already the first problem has presented itself. Look, pressure sensitivity on my tablet has gone. Yeah, pressure sensitivity's gone. 1 second. I can fix that. That's not a problem. I'll probably just have to restart the driver. Talk amongst yourselves. Yeah, pressure sensitivity has totally gone. Alright. What if I just restart TV Paint? How about that? I'm going to restart TV Paint. I'm just not going to show you my my exciting desktop. Don't want you to see how messy I am. Yeah, there's a bunch of postcards on it. See if anyone wants any. I'm using a Wacom Intuos 4 large tablet, so quite an old one, but a good one. Wow, look at all these subscriptions coming in. Yeah, there's some Nebulombies in that intro there, yeah. Yeah, I mean, really, I should have tested the tablet to begin with. But I mean, it was working a couple of hours ago. Of course, it stops working when it's time to stream. Yeah, just waiting for TV Paint to start. For some reason, TV Paint isn't starting either, so it's we're off to a really good start actually to the stream. We're off to an excellent start. Let's see if this helps. Oh, hang on. I think I know what might be going on here. Yeah, here we go. It's loading up. I had two versions of TV Paint open. That was messing it up. Wow, these TIE fighters are just flying in, aren't they? Let's see if I got pressure sensitivity back. I do. All right, we're good. We're good. We're back. You need your pressure sensitivity. Look, it's very important. Without that, you can't even change the size of your brush without it flying off the screen in unusual and strange ways. Am I on a PC build? Yeah, I'm a PC. Yeah, this is for a short opening animation for the TIE Fighter Total Conversion. Wow, look at this. I guess the public wants to see more Star Wars animations. So, all right. First things first. First things first. We'll fill in the black bits. I think that's about right for tolerance range. Do you know what was the most annoying thing to do? The little chains that hold his cape on. These little chains, and then you play it, and when the shading starts, you can barely even see them. I might put some highlights on them. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Harkov. Well, he's not really in the intro, is he? We don't really see him in the intro. So I don't think I have to draw Harkov. How about some nice relaxing outrun to start your Friday off? Wow, I'm really... a lot of gaps, a lot of gaps. Oh, you watched the VR Chat arcade promo. I wasn't even gonna do that. Mackie forced me. She forced me to make a video. I was like, oh, no one will be interested. So you can thank Mackie for that one. Yeah. I mean, I'd look through as many cutscenes and extraneous materials as I could and see what the consensus is for his face, I guess. Not that he deserves to be drawn after all the shit he put me through. If you play TIE Fighter, you'll feel the same way as I do. Oh, we got a team member here. Yeah, I'm using TV Paint. TV Paint is what I use. And Cinema 4D for the 3D stuff. I have seen The Mandalorian, yeah. That Mandalorian made me really like Aqua-10's class cruisers. Are they classed as cruisers? Yeah, it's pretty good. I like it. I like The Mandalorian. I liked it more at the start when it was basically fetch quests. Fetch quests, the series. A lot of people didn't like that, but I thought that was incredibly comfy. But yeah, I'll definitely watch more of it when there's more out. I guess people have seen the Star Wars Visions anime trailer that they just put out. It looks kind of interesting. You know, part of me, being a grumpy old man, yeah, part of me is like, why couldn't they have done this in the 90s when anime was at its peak? Why couldn't we have had, you know, Star Wars by the team that did 5-star stories, or you know, Madhouse in their prime, Ninja Scroll era Madhouse or something. Oh, imagine Art Mix Star Wars, Bubblegum Crisis, Maddox 01 people doing Star Wars. It would have been glorious. But you know, take what we can get. You're gonna pester me to surge in the VR blockbuster? Yeah. So speaking of Grand Admirals, that's one of the interesting things about this redoing the intro project is obviously it's not the intro to classic TIE Fighter, it's the intro to TIE Fighter Total Conversion Reimagined, which they've made a lot of it a lot bigger. Like, a lot of the battles are, because you know, TIE Fighter was made in what, like 94, 95, so limitations of PC gaming at the time meant you couldn't have super massive battles, and they didn't have a massive amount of ships, you know, and they didn't have huge skyboxes like you'd see later on in Homeworld. So, you know, for instance, in classic TIE Fighter, there's a mission where you have to go to Coruscant and rescue the Emperor, and you get there and there's no Coruscant. This is the tiny planet in the background, whereas, you know, you'd expect it to be like the opening of episode 3 or whatever, like Coruscant just like looming in the background, but you couldn't get that kind of stuff. And that's the kind of stuff that they are doing with the Total Conversion. So there's a lot of new things that like there's Clone Wars era ships in it, there's Aqua-10's cruisers in it that weren't in the original, and so one of the things, you know, that was a large tangent, but one of the things that I've had to contend with is, what do we change for the intro? What bits do we change? Because hold on a sec, I can show you, I think. So here's the original intro, yeah? Here's the original intro. So, I mean, obviously Coruscant looks wrong because they hadn't, you know, fixed on a canon look for Coruscant yet, so it's just a blue planet here. And there's the Emperor's Palace. This is causing some debate. So this is what the Emperor's Palace looks like in ye olden days, and nowadays, obviously, in the canon, they've changed the Emperor's Palace to be the Jedi Temple with a bunch of Empire flags on it. So I changed it to the Jedi Temple, yeah, and a lot of people on Twitter were really fucking pissed about it. Like, get this shitty Disney canon out of my TIE Fighter, but give us the old Give us the old palace back. So I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't actually consider that some people would be a bit pissed about that. And so when we do Grand Admiral Thrawn, you know, do I make him look like the game? Do I make him look like the game? Here he is in the game, look, and he sounds like this.
This rebel stronghold has no hope of escape. Commence the attack. Yes, sir.
So obviously he looks and sounds quite different to the Thrawn that we've seen in Rebels and whatnot, and in the new Thrawn books by Timothy Zahn and stuff. So it's like, yeah, it's interesting. Do I go for the old look? Do I go for something in between? So, you know, it's interesting. You can never make everyone happy, I guess. You can never make everyone happy. He's got balls of steel, Mackie. You don't even know. Mackie hasn't seen a lot of Star Wars. I made her watch the original 3 films. I'm going to force her to watch the prequels with me at some point. But yeah, Mackie doesn't know about Thrawn. Doesn't know about what a genius Thrawn is. Oh yeah. There's loads of like Thrawn's in it. But you know, obviously they changed stuff since then. So in the TIE Fighter storyline, Thrawn is a vice admiral, and he does a bunch of cool stuff. He always helps you out when you're in trouble. And it's a guy called Zarin, Admiral Zarin. He develops the TIE Defender, which is for most people the best TIE fighter. And then Disney brought Thrawn back into canon in Star Wars Rebels, and in that Thrawn is the guy who develops the TIE Defender. Like it's a big plot point in Star Wars Rebels. He's got these factories up and running trying to produce TIE Defenders and stuff. So, you know, it's nice that he's official again. Don't go for Disney canon. Prequel stream. Look, Zarin's here. Yeah, I'll go for the old. I'll go for the old uniforms. I think. Yeah. Vader's voice in the old intro is really good, actually. The guy doing Darth Vader's voice is quite good. Oh, that's loud.
The rebels are unprepared for our attack. Signal Vice Admiral Thrawn to launch his TIE squadrons immediately.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Yeah, I miss reading manga released by Dark Horse back in the 90s. Why do we... Oh, it's because I restarted. Okay, that should... Yeah, mask is working now. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, the briefing officer's great. He's voiced by a guy called Guy Siner, who, I think it's pronounced Siner, who is very famous in the UK for people of my age for being in a series called Allo Allo, playing a Nazi officer. It's a comedy series. gonna put a bookmark there so I know where I am. Alright, is that? I think that's right. Yep. Okay. Kind of want to turn the tolerance up a bit, but no, it's good. It's good. Anything with Peter Cushing in it, I'll watch immediately. He's always been my favourite actor, Peter Cushing. And you know, obviously the best Doctor as well. Do you mean the new voice actor for the mod, or the older voice actor for the original? Yeah. So obviously they had to redo the voices for the reimagined campaign because the missions are bigger and different things happen in them, so they couldn't just use the old voice acting rather, because it wouldn't reflect what you're actually doing in the missions. But you can still play the classic version though, if you don't want all the reimagined stuff. The classic version's on there as well. You know, just with updated graphics, so it has the old voice acting and everything. But I'll warn you, it's rock hard. It's absolutely rock hard. For anyone who is watching me streaming the past couple of weeks, I was trying to play some and it's like, oh shit. I'm not a good enough gamer for this. I was just getting killed by everything. And I used to be good at TIE Fighter. Yeah, Zeorime is good. Zeorime is good. Looks very good as well, Zeorime. I miss old OVAs like that. I think it's only 6 parts, isn't it? I need to watch it again, actually. I used to be pretty good at TIE Fighter, but it's much harder. It's much harder in the Total Conversion mod. I'm sure of it. I'm sure it's much harder. But you know, I am playing the reimagined version. So in the classic, if you play the classic one, I think it'd probably be a lot closer to how it originally was. So you know, you wouldn't have splash damage from missiles killing you as soon as you launch a missile and stuff like that. Recent files. So the shot before this is this 30 frames? I don't think so. I think it's more like 18, isn't it? Again, the timing is off on this, so ignore the timing. And it still needs to be shaded and everything. But this is Vader walking up No animation on the stars or anything yet. But yeah, it's all coming along. It's all taking shape. I haven't. I haven't heard Angel's Vader. Did he do Vader in the new one? I know he does the briefing officer, and he does a pretty good impression, I thought. Pretty good impression of the actual briefing officer from the old game. See these little grills? These little grills in the mouthpiece. I ain't gonna draw each one of those individually. I'll show you a trick. I've made a new layer. I'm gonna fill everything with black. I'm going to get the line, put it onto erase, stick it up to about 4.5. Should be about the right size. Yeah. Need to, I mean, it doesn't matter if it wobbles a little bit. I'll do the ones in the middle first. Yeah, I wasn't going to draw each one of these when I was doing it. When I was drawing the lines. Some details it's just easier to put in other ways. 115 people here, that's a lot. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're having a nice Friday. How is the music volume? Is it alright? Do you want it louder? Are you perfectly comfy with this? Music's fine? Yeah? I use Sony Vegas for compositing everything together afterwards. But yeah, I mean, you can't animate in Vegas, so yeah, I animate in TV Paint and I comp everything together in Vegas at the end. Probably Haruhiko Mikimoto, I think. Mikimoto and Shiro are probably my biggest influences when it comes to anime style. Mikimoto's definitely my favourite character designer. But yeah, obviously I really like Kenichi Sonoda and just, you know, Bubblegum Crisis in general. Yes, another TIE Fighter animation. Well, it's just an opening. It's just an opening sequence. Look at Mackie pimping out the Etsy store. Thank you. If anyone wants any postcards, we got some on Etsy. You can send them to friends, family, enemies, household pets. There's a, if you like the TIE Fighter stuff, there's a postcard of the TIE Bomber girl in front of the TIE Bomber. There's one of Guts from Berserk drifting in a car. if that tickles your fancy. What are your thoughts on Kitazuma in series like Zeta Gundam, Double Zeta Gundam, or Battle of Dunbine and Heavy Metal Elgheim? Kitazuma, is he the mech designer then? I like Zeta a lot. I mean, my favourite Gundam is still 0083 Stardust Memory. Either that or War in the Pocket. But yeah, Zeta has a lot of Zeta and Double Zeta as well. Actually, have a lot of really likable characters. It is. It's 2D animation, yes. Also, if anybody, because time flies without me even noticing it when I'm animating. So if anyone wants to see the animation so far, just, you know, at me in the chat and I'll press play. If you want me to press play at any point and see how it's coming along, just let me know and I will do. Because I kind of know what it looks like, so I spend hours without even playing it usually, which might be a bit boring for those watching at home. I see you added it to the DVD. Kouraki. Kouraki. I was talking to a friend recently. She was talking about honorifics in Japanese, and I mentioned the 0083 Stardust Memory, where Kouraki uses Boku. He uses Boku for like the entire series when he's talking about himself. And then right towards the end, when he's seen some shit, the whole war is hell thing, he changes to Ore. He starts calling himself Ore. And it's like, how do you subtitle that? It isn't really addressed in the subtitles, the official DVD subtitles. But he's talking to Nina and he just says like Ore, and she acts really surprised that he's suddenly talking like a badass or whatever. But it doesn't come across in the subs. And there's your Japanese lesson for the day, chat. So yeah, this is don't get too excited, this is only a side project, this TIE Fighter opening sequence. My main thing is still the sci-fi horror film that I'm working on. I'm just kind of working on this at weekends. And if you want to see any of that, it's all on Patreon. Shameless self-promotion. If you want to go and see all the behind-the-scenes stuff, it's all on Patreon. Keep me in sandwiches, keep me alive. I have worked for a studio. I worked for Planet 55 in Australia to do a bunch of Doctor Who animated recreations of missing episodes for the BBC. And then we did a series called Prisoner Zero, which never got especially well advertised by ABC Australia, so no one's really heard of it, it seems. But yeah, that was the most fun. That was the most fun work experience that I ever had working in Australia. Like everyone in the studio was just really cool. I mean, obviously the heat in Australia, I wasn't used to the heat at all, but damn, the office was located in like this really nice spot as well, and it was just, you know, everyone kind of did everything together. It wasn't like your usual office thing where everyone just kind of goes off and does their own stuff. Like we'd always eat dinner together and go down and get burritos and beer together. Like imagine beer for your lunch break. I guess it's Australia though. So yeah, I was drinking Corona. I was drinking Coronas and having burritos every day. And then it was, you know, just various house parties and things at the weekends. Just a fantastic time. And a lot of the team from back then are working. I think it's finished now, hasn't it? That Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles show had a bunch of people from Planet 55 working on it. And if you've seen Prisoner Zero, you can definitely recognize the animation style from Sarah and Tom and everyone. Someone's seen Prisoner Zero in chat, wow. That does make me feel super old though. I loved that when I was younger. Yeah, back in Sheffield now. Eternal lockdown forever now. I'll never get to go anywhere again. I was saying a few streams back that I really would like to go to more conventions. Obviously, by we I mean me and Mackie, who works with me on everything. We've been kind of quiet, just working away on the sci-fi film, the Project Monday film. So that's taking up all of the time, but when that's done, which will be fairly soon, like it's at least 80% done now, I'd say. So when that's finished, I think it would be a good idea to go to some conventions and maybe show it, and you know, see if I can wrangle a couple of guest spots at convention, you know, like panels and stuff. That's assuming that the film comes out and people actually watch it. You know, obviously TIE Fighter got millions of views, but it's Star Wars, so I don't know how many views this film will get, but we'll have to see. I might be able to leverage it into, hey, can I be a guest at your convention kind of thing. I don't think anyone's going to pay to fly me over to America, but maybe they'll, you know, maybe they'll spring for a couple of hotel rooms. Can I explain what I'm doing? Is this a shading layer? So yeah. So I'm a big fan of old anime. So obviously back in ye olden days, they used between 3 and 4, sometimes 5 tones of shading. And so yeah, so you've got how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. We're on about 4 tones of shading here, yeah. And so I'm just sticking the black on first. I'm sticking pure black on. Then I'll do the shade, and then I'll do the highlights after that. Indeed, yeah. Mackie was looking at cons the other day, and there's a bunch of good horror ones actually in her area. Kind of hard for me to get to, but Tony Todd's at a bunch of them. Kane Hodder and Devoff, you know, the Wishmaster from Wishmaster. It would be cool to go, but you know, I could never blag as any invites to horror cons, I don't think, because I haven't done anything horror related. But obviously, the current film is a sci-fi horror film, so when that's done, maybe maybe I could say, look, I did a horror film. Can I come to your horror convention? This is a remake of the old TIE Fighter game opening sequence. Yeah. Outlaw Star had some really nice moments. I mean, it's 90s Sunrise, so generally everything that Sunrise did in the 90s was pretty nice. One thing I miss, this is a weird one, and I'm not sure a lot of people will agree with this. One thing I miss about old anime is it was very variable from episode to episode. So, say, I don't know, you watch a seasonal anime now, like, I don't know, that time I got reincarnated as a slime, for instance, or anything really. You watch it, you pick an episode from anywhere in the series, and it's gonna, the animation quality, the artwork, and the shading will all be pretty much the same. Whereas if you watch something like G Gundam or Hokuto no Ken, or like any of those old Gundams, episode of City Hunter, Dirty Pair, Patlabor TV, and you just pick a random episode and then watch another random episode, the artwork and animation will sometimes it'll be just fine, and then on some episodes you can tell that they've been saving up the budget because some episodes look like a movie. I mean, especially G Gundam, holy shit. The last episode of G Gundam, and they would often do this, they used to call it last episode favors, you know. They'd save up the budget and just give you a ridiculously well animated final couple of episodes. Tekkaman Blade is like that as well. Tekkaman Blade goes from literally no shading, like literally no shading at all, to final couple of episodes that are almost movie quality animation with like 5 tones of shading on them. And I kind of miss that. Yeah, I did the background, yeah. Alright, I think that's all black on. Okay, there's a bit here. But yeah, that variable quality, I used to really like that. Like, you never knew when you watched an episode. Trigun was like that. Like, I remember, Trigun looked okay, looked fine, but there was one episode that just looked terrible. There's one episode that looked absolutely awful, and I don't know what happened. And it was a really important, like, story important episode as well. And the animation was just awful in it. I miss different teams. I miss Dragon Ball, watching Dragon Ball Z, and it's like, oh shit, it's and Hokuto no Ken was like this as well. It's like, oh shit, it's that guy who draws Ken really well in this episode. You could tell just by looking at the faces what team was working. What is animated so far? We got this so far. No sound yet, obviously. I remember everyone losing their shit over episode 4 of Gurren Lagann, and back then I was more opinionated. Like, I was an edgy child, and I was like, all modern anime looks like shit. If it doesn't look like Macross Do You Remember Love, it's shit. If it's not done on cells, it's shit. And back then I was like, I don't know what people are talking about. This looks exactly as bad as the rest of Gurren Lagann. Yeah, that was a lot of fun to be around. Don't you just love being around people who just they constantly tell you that the things you like are shit? Alright, so I guess we'll start putting on... these bits. I'll do another layer for this. What the hell? Whoa, not that though. A normal layer, thank you. There we go. You can see a bit of purple around the edges there. That's okay. I'm aware of it. I will get rid of it. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Oh, I was very opinionated. One of the things we're doing at the moment. So I don't get out of the house very often, but on Wednesdays I go over to my friend Rick's place. He lives like 30 seconds down the road, and we get some food and watch some anime each week. And we've been doing Monster. If any of you have heard of Monster. And I'm shocked. I'm shocked by it. Like, I remember I watched it when it came out in like 1999 or something, and I remember I liked the story, but I thought it looked like shit at the time because it was when anime had just started going digital. So at the time, if you watch those early digital animes, like all of the animes. All of the lines are like kind of grey and washed out, and a lot of the colours are really grey and washed out. It's just like, I guess it was teething problems with doing stuff digitally. We've actually started to get colour back in anime now, which is nice. But yeah, I remember I hated the way Monster looked when I originally watched it. I'm watching it now, it's ridiculous. It looks so fucking good. It looks so good, I'm telling you. I'm telling you, it looks so good. It's got lots of shade. I mean, it obviously doesn't look as good as Gundam 0083 or Macross Do You Remember Love or whatever, but it's a TV series and it looks shockingly good for a TV series. The animation, the character acting and everything, really, really nice. And the story's fantastic as well. Like, I heartily recommend Monster to anyone. Just don't read anything about it before you watch it, because it's all about the mystery. It's all about the mystery. So don't spoil it for yourself. But yeah, it's amazing how things that I thought looked shit at the time, I watch them now, and I guess it's because anime has become just more bland over the years. But stuff that I used to hate looks great to me now. One of the most prominent examples of that was Slayers. I watched the first episode of Slayers when it was released at an anime con in the 90s. And I was like, what is this shit? This is terrible. And I mean, I remember, I know I'm not making it up, I remember at the time, I remember my thoughts and everything whilst I watched it, and I was like, this looks shit. This looks like the most low budget trash. It's got very little shading, the animation's shitty. The artwork's crap. And then a few years ago we watched all of Slayers and I loved it. I loved it. Like, I love the character designs, I love the art. So yeah, it's weird. It's weird how you can change. I guess all you need is for the world to just get much, much worse, and then things you used to not like are now a breath of fresh air when you watch them now. So thanks to the world for being kind of crappy now. Monster's interesting. I don't know if I could describe Monster. Oh, thank you. Thank you for those 100 rubles. That's, how much is 100 rubles? I don't no idea how much 100 rubles is. There it is. One day, I'm telling you, one day, I'm going to sit down and actually learn how to read. How to read, I'll just leave it at that. I just learn how to read. No, I'll sit down and learn how to read the Cyrillic alphabet so I can actually see what Russian names are pronounced like. But yes, thank you very much. Oh, I always loved Clamp in the 90s, and then I think the one who did all the artwork in Clamp got some illness or something, and they changed artists and everything looked rubbish. Might be talking bullshit there, but I know something happened. My housemate is a big Clamp fan, and she's like really pissed at how Clamp just stopped doing all of the big things that made them big in the first place and changed their art style completely. About 350, alright. Yeah, this is for the mod, yeah. Ah, I see. Why did the music change in TIE Fighter final release? I don't remember the music changing. Yeah, it looks interesting, doesn't it? It'll probably be the Star Wars Visions thing. It'll probably be like most anthology things, where you'll have a couple of good ones and a couple of not so good ones. But yeah, I mean, it looks alright. I'm not sure how I feel about lightsaber umbrellas, but well, who knows? Yeah, let's see how it's going so far. Also, how long have I been streaming? An hour exactly. Alright, it's coffee break time. I need to get a coffee. So, by all means, get yourselves a beverage, chat. Or you can stay here if you like and enjoy these messages. I'll be back in a moment.
A very special cup of coffee. A new standard in richness. A new standard in pureness, blended together to give a new standard in smooth. The Gold Blend standard, only from Nescafe.
It's only memories of Earth and the rich smell of this coffee that keeps my spirits up. Coffee. At least we'll reach our destination soon. Coffee. You make a fine cup of coffee. You've made my day.
Are you taking your coffee break now, Alan?
Yeah, that's right. You want some? Coffee. And I had to go make coffee for two. Hurry up, would you? My coffee's starting to cool off. Coffee, my salvation from my day-to-day drudgery. Coffee. A little bitter, but still an excellent blend.
Boy, you should switch to decaf.
Hello. I'm sorry to bother you, but I'm having a dinner party and I've run out of coffee.
Come in.
Thank you.
Will Gold Blend be too good for your guests?
Oh, I think they could get used to it.
It's a very sophisticated coffee.
They have very sophisticated taste.
Do they?
Yes. Well, I must be getting back.
Now, golden roasted, richer, smoother, Nescafe Gold Blend.
Have you met your new neighbor yet?
Oh, I've popped in for coffee.
Come on, Dad.
You're playing Vicky, not Andre Agassi.
Don't be so sure.
Agassi.
Hi, call me Andre.
Nescafe, Andre?
You bet. Nescafe sure is coffee at its best. That's the best thing served to me all week. Who's up for doubles?
Yeah! The best days are Nescafe days.
今 結構忙しいんだろ？そういえば例の歌の歌詞はで
私はあなたが好き。
Days looking new and bright, and you're gonna start it right. Folger's starting to brew, the aroma's calling you. The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
Mornings are brighter with mountain-grown Folgers because mountain-grown coffee has more enticing aroma than any other kind.
The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
Please enjoy this footage of velvety smooth beans, followed by a well-shot close-up of a hot brown liquid that's brewed by mixing heated water.
All over the world, the word for great coffee flavor is Nescafe.
We're the world's favorite brand of instant coffees.
In America, Nescafe's great flavor comes two ways.
We're the world's best-selling too.
Nescafe Regular in the red label.
If Nescafe can please the whole wide world.
And now Nescafe Decaffeinated in the green label.
We can sure please you.
Same kind of flavor. Nescafe Regular, Nescafe Decaffeinated. What's your pleasure?
お嬢さん方を応接室に。
はい。
美味しいコーヒーを入れましょうかね。美味しいコーヒーができましたよ。
I only showed you that to remind you you desperately need your fix.
男の温度が上がった。飲んで飲んでまた飲みたい。缶入りコーヒーウエスト。
Go west.
いつもそばにいてね。
ボス、私のそばにいてね。ボス、決して私見捨てないでお願い。Boss, I can't live without you. Boss, I can't live without you.
Boss, いつもそばにいてね。Boss, 私のそばにいてね。Boss, 決して私見捨てないでお願い。Boss, I can't live without you. Boss, I can't live without you.
A very special cup of coffee, a new standard in richness, a new standard in pureness, blended together to give a new standard in smooth. The Gold Blend standard, only from Nescafe.
It's only memories of Earth and the rich smell of this coffee that keeps my spirits up. Coffee. At least we'll reach our destination soon. Coffee. You make a fine cup of coffee. You've made my day.
Are you taking your coffee break now, Alan?
Yeah, that's right. You want some? Coffee. And I had to go make coffee for two. Hurry up, would you? My coffee's starting to cool off.
I'm back. Alright, let's do some shading. So, obviously, as you can see, it takes quite a long time to shade stuff. I've been listening to lots of audiobooks whilst doing this sequence. You know, obviously shading this, shading this thing took a while. Oh. Obviously the ships are 3D, but I had to do all the little details by hand, all the lights by hand and everything. So yeah, there's I might make it more detailed before the final release. But yeah, all of these individual lights and everything had to be done by hand, and that was quite a nightmare. Quite a nightmare. Look, it's Kevin Jakowski. Welcome. Hello, everyone. So yeah, lots of audiobooks, horror podcasts, and documentaries. I always do this. I get a coffee and I just leave it sitting on my desk. I'm actually going to drink some of it. Yeah. Mackie's been colouring some stuff for the Monday film we're working on, but it's mostly just us two. Yeah. Would be nice to have assistants, but you have to pay them. You have to pay them. And I'm just a guy sitting in my room, barely existing off of Patreon. So we don't really have the budget for it. I do only make minimum wage, unfortunately. Yeah, Mackie got me an insulated mug and a like a heating pad thing that you plug into the mains and you put your mug on it and it keeps it warm. So I plugged it in and I was like, what is that weird smell? Obviously I hadn't considered that it was coming from America and it wasn't compatible with my English plug. So it was starting to burn itself out. So I can see it now. I can see it, but I need to buy a transformer for it. Alright, for curves like this, you just gotta go upside down. You have to. Some curves are just harder to draw than other curves. It's like a third of minimum wage, is it? When I started, it was approaching minimum wage, but yeah, I think it's lower now. I mean, luckily I live very cheaply, very cheaply. I don't go out or buy anything fancy. My room is completely empty. I don't have like any DVDs or anything, so I'm able to survive. Indeed. I will. Next time you're here, you can force me to buy a converter. I love this. I love being able to just with a keyboard shortcut, just like moving my canvas around. Because I'm from a Photoshop background, and you can do that in Photoshop, but not very easily. It's just so easy to do in TV Paint. It makes drawing curves really easy. Because I can't do that curve from this angle, not very well. I mean, I can now that it's a smaller curve, I guess. I'll let Mackie answer that one. I mean, mostly it's about time. We've had offers in the past, but it's just the time frame they wanted stuff doing on was impossible. It was like literally impossible. Even if I slept under my desk, it just couldn't have been done. Because when people do contact us, I think they assume that we have an animation team, which we don't. Thank you, Kevin. For you, I will have tomato in it. I don't like tomato, but I will have a roast beef sandwich, and I'll put a tomato in it tomorrow. Thanks very much. Yeah, a lot of people who have contacted us don't not having a go at them. I'm just saying they don't seem to understand how animation is actually done is the thing, I guess, because a lot of people see the kind of cheapy bone-rigged Flash animation stuff and figure that you can knock something out in a week when you can't, not for frame by frame. I mean, every single frame is going to be a new frame that you have to draw. You can't motion tween stuff like you can with Flash programs. So yeah, it's just kind of a fundamental misunderstanding, I think. How long have I been doing this for work? Since for however long the Patreon has been going. When I got back from Australia, actually, when Prisoner Zero wrapped up, that's when I opened the Patreon and just started doing stuff full time from home. Because it was very cool working in the studio, and I had quite a bit of creative input on Prisoner Zero as well, since I designed the characters and the ships and things. But I don't think that would be the case on other projects. So, I'd basically be animating someone else's work if I worked in a studio, and life, you only have so long, and I'm old anyway, I probably don't have long left to live. So best to, get my own stuff out whilst I can. Let's see how that looks. Just kind of fade that bit out. Oh. Was it 10 years ago? Was it really that long? I mean, if that's the case, I guess I've been doing Patreon for 10 years. Can't have been that long though. Interesting question there. Let's throw it up into chat. This is my 3rd year on Patreon. Oh, okay. Thank you for that delightful super chat message, Cookie Muncher, and also for those $20. That should keep me in sandwiches for a bit. Thanks. $2016. Okay, yeah, that sounds more like it. Have you heard that OnlyFans is banning porn? They're banning lewd content, and I'm like, well, wasn't that the whole point? Everyone's gonna have to leave, aren't they? A new video, yes? I think YouTube takes a cut of super chats, don't they? I believe they do. I don't think they get anything if you PayPal it over using the what is it? The Streamlabs link. Every single live stream I do gets demonetized anyway, though, because I'm using... I thought the music would be alright, because, you know, it's old remixes of Commodore 64 tunes. But, yeah, a lot of them just get... So you can... Well, you know, I'm sure you all know how it goes. You can stream for 20 hours if you want. And if you use 2 seconds of a song, then your entire 40 hours of stream are going to be demonetized. So it's totally pointless for me, at least. It's totally pointless ever trying to do anything on YouTube stream wise and thinking, yeah, this will be monetized. Like, it's never gonna happen. They're always, as soon as I do a stream and I end the stream, instantly off to the email to see what they've demonetized me on every single time. So yeah, that's just kind of, that's how it is, unfortunately. Yeah, popular demand. People wanted those super chats, so we put it on there. Oh, really the highlights that make it. Like, imagine Darth Vader's eyes without the highlights. It would just look dead. Is the pound strong? That's good news for me. I never check. I was watching an interview with Bruce Dickinson from Iron Maiden earlier on, and he was saying, "Oh, thank you, Firestorm. Thank you very much." Yeah, he was. Bruce Dickinson was saying how he's not on Facebook, he's not on Twitter, he's not on anything, and he said it just makes him a lot happier to not know any social media stuff that's going on. And yeah, I think he's completely right. And completely went off on a tangent there. Oh, it's because of the pound being strong. Yeah, like I had no idea because I never watch the news or anything. I prefer to stay as uninformed as I can about the state of the world. I can't understand like being someone who does stuff like I don't know, I guess like singer, animator, filmmaker, someone who does something that's obviously going to take a lot of your time and effort. So being someone like that does stuff that takes a lot of time to do, that you need to be spending a lot of time doing it, and also having a Twitter account where you just post about politics 24/7 on it. Like, I've seen so many people do that. I'm like, well, shouldn't you be doing, your work? I don't know, it seems like a trap. I'm not going to fall for it. I'm not going anywhere near politics. Thank you for feeding the king. Yes, thank you. Social media. The only good thing that social media is good for is gifs of cats and things. That's the only worthwhile thing, I think. And if you're a business or whatever, or an animator or something, it's decent for saying when you're going to stream or whatever. But like anything more than that, I'm not sure. Not sure. For me, anyway. Sometimes, rather than putting the line in and then filling it with the fill bucket tool, it's just quicker to shade an area like this. Just get a big thick brush and slap the color on. Not sure if that's better or worse. I mean, it's probably better for your mental health, I guess. Me and Mackie were watching, sorry for outing you like this, Mackie. We were watching an old Vice video about VR porn from like 2016 or something. About the future of VR. VR had just come out. The Oculus Rift is the most world-defining, amazing new piece of technology. Well, thank you. And it's gonna change everything. The porn will never be the same. Everything's gonna be VR from now on. Everyone's gonna be hooking up into like cyber suits and getting it on virtually. And it's just like interesting seeing how people thought things were gonna be and how like none of that seems to have happened at all. Also interesting seeing Vice do an actual interesting video that wasn't all like clickbait and stuff. I mean, like I say, it was old. It was old. Teledildonics, that was it. Hello. Greetings in Germany, yes? Oh, I can imagine it happens on VR chat. Yeah, I've seen some of the upcoming developments in virtual filth on VR chat. I don't participate in any of that. I just wanted to make a cool arcade. It's all private, Becky. It's all people make these like private worlds and stuff. And private avatars that you never see around in public worlds, because you'd get banned if you did. It's people and their close group of friends just hanging out on private filth worlds. With their giant dongs. That's one of the main reasons, yes. So that you can look like the cute anime girl that you always wanted to be. I'm surprised no one's made the pool, that pool, in VR chat. Oh, here we go. Here's some real music. If you play your cards right, Mac, you can get an invite to. You could go along to the next meeting as like a reporter. You can report on the dark underbelly of VR chat that people don't see normally. I think before we start on the body, I'm just gonna finish this helmet. I'll do the whole head. What the hell? Anyway, how's it looking? It's coming along. I don't like how this bit here is fully in lightness, then it just goes into darkness like that. I think we need to ease that in a bit, like so. I mean, it's a good reason to go on VR chat. Just spread the word of Blackmagic M66. You could pay people to make avatars for you. You could get yourself a nice M66. It's new layer time. Makes things easier. It's like Fight Club, I imagine, this whole meeting up and screwing in VR chat. Yeah, this is a new one. I don't know. I mean, Shiro was really into his 3D, wasn't he? He was an early adopter, so I bet he's on VR chat. If he's still alive. Sounds like the kind of thing he'd do. Are there any good Star Destroyer games? If only. I mean, Empire at War. Huh. Yeah, it's tricky. Actually, I'll show you. Hold on. One moment. Something that helped me a lot. Helped a great deal, actually. One moment. Yeah, so here you go. Sketchfab, yeah. You can find pretty much any model on it, and you don't have to download it. You can just use the preview viewer, and for stuff like this it's really good because you can get reference from any angle you need, pretty much, which is very nice. So this helped me a lot when I was drawing Vader. Helped quite a lot. But yeah, that's one of the things that I was using. I've heard other people say that. I haven't watched it though. Invincible. Oh. Oh, let me get We get stream info back on the other screen, so I can see who's watching and whatnot. 80 concurrent viewers. That's quite a lot for me. Yes, I'm using 11. I'm using version 11 of TV Paint. I believe that's the most up-to-date one. It always drops off though. People are excited at the start and then most of them realise, wow, this is actually really boring to watch. I'll go and do something else. Yeah, that must have been a nightmare, surely. Oh yeah, no 3D stuff online for reference back then. Yeah, I can imagine. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like it. Oh, cheers. Yeah, bridge shots are always a bit tricky. Like, getting all the people down in the little crew pit and everything is always a tricky thing to draw. Getting lighting right and everything. Clip Studio, yeah. I mean, I always wanted to make more TIE Fighter, and I was going to have it a bit like, I guess a good way to show it would have, you could have like a reporter on the ship who's got clearance to be there and reporting in, you know, a month in the lives of some Imperial pilots on a Star Destroyer, and then you could see all the different positions and posts, you know, pilots, gunners, all that kind of stuff. You could really show a lot of the technology and what it's actually like being inside a Star Destroyer and stuff. I would have to watch a lot of documentaries on aircraft carriers, I imagine. That kind of thing. But that's something I wanted to do, yeah. But obviously it's finding the time, isn't it? How long am I I've been working on this one for a couple of days, I guess. It's yeah, it's tricky because it's what, 87 frames long, and Vader's quite detailed is the thing. So there's a lot of lines. There's a lot of lines for each frame, and on top of that, there's a lot of shading on each frame as well. So most shots don't take as long as this for anything that I do. Thank you. Yeah, they had like some background information and whatnot, yeah. Yes, have a good night. Thank you, Connor. I'll use that for probably not for spam though. Maybe like beef or something. When the local shop opens in how long? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In 5 hours from now, I will go and get some beef or something. I need more bread. I'm out of bread. But I ate just before the stream, so I'll be good. I'll be fine until everything opens up. Well, good luck in VR chat, and don't catch anything. Feel free to stop by the arcade. The arcade's there for people to visit. Oof, I don't know if I have time for slow cooking. Nah, this will be shorter than the other TIE fighter. It's just an opening. So how long is the original opening? It's 3 minutes, so it'll probably be around 3 or 4 minutes, I think. Yeah, that's until the VR variant drops. When the new update to coronavirus drops. Well, we're all looking forward to. I think the team will already have music done for this. But if not, I'll try and get Zach on board. Oh, I know the feeling about being old. I'm still looking pretty decent for an old man, but I definitely can't just eat anything I want anymore and remain stick thin. I used to eat so much. When I was in my 20s, I could eat anything and not put on any weight at all. It's great. I figured I've just got really good genetics, I can do this forever, but it didn't work out that way. Indeed. A surprise. No one expected this. Should I do this with line? I wonder. It's probably easier than just drawing a slight curve each time. Maybe not though, maybe not. Nah, screw it. How young are you? I'm 43. I'm 43. Nobody who's met me thinks that I look or sound 43 though. I can't tell if they're just being polite, because you know, I know everyone says that about people. But you know, I guess it's because I'm so immature. I give off a younger vibe. Until he hits 60, yeah. I mean, I should, if my uncle and my granddad are anything to go by, I should get to keep my hair at least. So that's nice. Yeah. I still play with my Tonka trucks, yes, it's true. Oh, you're an old man as well, Ed. It's good to know. Yeah, I'm on, I think, about my fourth midlife crisis now. Ha! I see. Yeah, there's a bunch of you know, like process work in progress things on the Patreon if you want to see any of that behind the scenes stuff. Yeah, I think the Doctor Who one would have been the earliest. I mean, the White Chamber is the earliest. But that was, you know, point and click adventure game stuff, so not like 100% animation all the time. Yeah, you can find the White Chamber. You can find people playing it on YouTube, like walkthroughs of it. So you can definitely see like my super ancient ass art on that. Damn, some of it has not aged well. But I think the backgrounds have, surprisingly. I did the backgrounds as well, and they look fine. It's just some of the character animation is awful. But you know, I was just starting out and didn't know what I was doing. People have reanimated sequences from the CDI Zelda games. Favorite animated film? That's probably Macross Do You Remember Love, I think. Or Project Aiko, one or the other. Nah, Gundam's all CG from now on. Don't expect any more hand-drawn Gundams. It's all going to be CG from now. I haven't watched those new Evangelion films, but I mean, 3D Avas, what the hell? Come on. You've got enough money to hand-draw those things. Disgusting. Disgusting! Yeah, Eiko's great. It's finally, after all these years, they found the I think they found the original prints, and they're doing like a ridiculously high grade Blu-ray remaster of it, and it's insane. From the screenshots that I've seen, it's just ridiculous. The amount of details, it's like we've never seen it before. There's things in those screenshots that I've never seen because it was just too blurry. Yeah, let's not do 3D for robots and ships. I mean, well, I can get away with it a little bit. I think as long as you do low poly 3D and hand detail and hand color it, then you should be fine. Like this, I don't think this would have been possible if I didn't use 3D models. Like, it would have been so hard to hand animate this. Yeah, like keeping everything consistently moving and everything with the camera moving past would have just been horrible. Yeah. You'll never see another hand animated horse in any anime going forward. All 3D horses from now on. I think the last hand animated horse I probably saw was in Berserk 1998. 98, yeah. I quite liked Igloo, yeah. Yeah, I liked Igloo. But, you know, the whole thing was 3D, so it was fine. Just, it looks lazy when you've got a 2D anime. They just can't be bothered to... Well, it's not that they can't be bothered, they just don't have the money, I guess. But, you know what I mean. Everything's hand-drawn, and then they can't be bothered to do a car. So in comes a 3D car, it just looks incredibly jarring. And especially after watching something like Riding Bean and seeing just how good hand-drawn cars can look and move. It just, I don't know, it's a real shame. Yeah, they're using 2D crowds a lot, aren't they? These days, any crowd scene, it's just 3D. You can always tell every time. You may not have noticed, but your brain did. Yeah, me too. I watched, speaking of new anime, I watched all of Mars Red recently, and it starts out pretty good, and you think, wow, this is probably going to be quite an aesthetic anime. You know, set in 1920s Imperial Japan, vampires, all the cool stuff, and then in come the 3D soldiers, like not just 3D soldiers, really obvious, like PlayStation 2 3D soldiers with PlayStation 2. Well, that's actually insulting PlayStation 2. Like the animation's really bad on them. They're really floaty. They just come moving in really slowly with their 3D clubs and just like lifting their clubs up and bringing their clubs down, and you never see them hit anything because animating the 3D things interacting with the 2D people would be like too much work, so you never actually see them killing anyone. You just see these 3D soldiers moving around and then like see some dead bodies in the street afterwards. It's so lazy. It's so lazy. It did, didn't it? Yeah. I was like, so many anime seem to do that these days. Promised Neverland as well was really good, and then that second season was just trash, just absolute shit the bed completely. I was shocked at, like, is this a different team or something? Like, what's happening? Yeah, they were okay. They were okay, the backgrounds. They weren't, you know, like Makoto Shinkai level, but yeah, they were fine, I think. It's always interesting when I see that tower. There's any anime in, like, you know, pre-1923, you usually see that tower. It's like a landmark. Not Tokyo Tower, because it didn't exist back then. There's this big tower in Tokyo, and it got destroyed in the 1923 earthquake. I remember when I was in Japan, I went to a museum, the Edo Tokyo Museum, and they had like a big thing on that tower that got destroyed. And yeah, you see that in Mars Red a lot, actually. It's in Urotsukidoji 2 as well. And it's in Doomed Megalopolis. And that's my review of Anime Towers. Yeah, season 2 was shocking of Promised Neverland, because that first one was good. I thought, well, holy shit, this is gonna be an ongoing thing. We're gonna get like a lot of seasons out of this. I'm looking forward to see where this is going. And I don't know, I guess someone just pulled the plug and they truncated everything in season 2, like absolutely everything. And then the ending was just, and this was apparently the ending of the manga, the ending was just a bunch of stills. They didn't have time to animate them, so it's just some stills with no voices. You don't know what the hell you're looking at. Only manga readers who have read the manga know what's going on. And it's like, well, what was the point of making an anime then? I don't know, it's one of those things, like, you never know what was going on behind the scenes. Unless some idiot leaks emails, which they don't in Japan. Like those Sony email leaks from all those years ago, they were incredible to see just how incompetent these people who, they're playing with millions and millions of dollars with movie franchises and they haven't got a clue how to even spell. It was just shocking, those Sony emails. Those Sony emails were terrible. So yeah, you never know what kind of absolute foolishness is going on behind the scenes. And especially in Japan, you probably never will know because, you know, people don't really talk shit on Twitter in Japan. You can do that, Mackie. We'll put that out as a postcard. That'll be the next postcard. Yeah, the spider one. So I was burned again because I was reading the manga. I really liked the manga. I read all that there was, and then obviously I stopped because there wasn't anymore. And I really enjoyed it. And so when I heard that they were making an anime of it, I was pretty excited. Then I saw the trailer. I was like, ugh, 3D shit, but I'll watch it anyway. And I watched it, and it was like, what the hell? This is totally different to the manga. What is this bullshit? And then I learned that actually it's a light novel, and the manga's based on the light novel, and the manga took a bunch of bits out, and the anime put the bits back in. So all of the teenage high school drama bullshit in the fantasy world that I had absolutely no interest in, because it wasn't in the manga, apparently that was in the light novel. And so the anime was more faithful or something, I don't know. I stopped watching after like 2 episodes because I just wanted my comfy spider going on comfy adventures, I guess. I didn't really get that. Oh, thank you for the $5. Have you seen the new trailer for Star Wars Visions? What are your thoughts? Love the Thai anime you made years ago, by the way. Keep up the great work. Oh, I will, thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell just from the trailer. There'll probably be some good episodes and some shitty episodes, I guess. But yeah, I mean, who knows how it'll turn out. Animatrix turned out pretty well, didn't it? So maybe it'll be something like that. I mean, I'm quite jaded in that I don't really look forward to anything these days, so it's hard for me to get excited about stuff, but that means I'm, pleasantly surprised if something turns out good. So hopefully it'll be good. Alright, we just need highlights on the eyes and that the helmet's done then. I need like a hotkey on my keyboard for whenever someone asks what program do you use, I just press like the T key and it says TV Paint. I use TV Paint. Oh yeah, it looks like the Grievous lady version of Grievous from those fan arts is a thing now. Thanks. I will. I'll try to keep up the great work. Yeah, my second monitor's like that. I've got like a crappy ancient second monitor, and if I move this over onto the second monitor, everything just looks black, and I can't see any difference between the colours. Usually I don't have this problem because I'm not. It's not. Everything isn't so dark. Usually, like obviously it's Vader, so it's tricky. I'm drawing it. Yeah. They're doubling up on some of them supposedly. Like some studios are going to be doing more than one, so it'll be interesting to see the different style differences and whatnot. Maybe it'll be like Love, Death and Robots. That was very hit and miss as well, I thought. So as you can see, I haven't gone for the red tinted lenses from Rogue One and the original Star Wars. That was only in the first film anyway, wasn't it? I think they were just black in Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Oh, definitely, yeah. Maul and Grievous. I mean, they were in the Clone Wars a lot, though, I guess. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. Those prequel movies, like a different bad guy in each movie. You just kill Maul off in the first one. I think it's a case of I don't think it was stupidity. I think it was a case of what am I going to say? Probably I was going to say Dragon Ball, where they kill off Nappa, right? Like as soon as Nappa appears, Nappa's dead, and like then he becomes a massive fan favorite character. And Hokuto no Ken as well. Like you talk to someone in Japan about Hokuto no Ken, everyone fucking loves Jaggy. Like everyone loves Jaggy. And from talking to people about Fist of the North Star, you think that Jaggy must be like this massive important character, but no, he's introduced and he's killed really early, and it's one of those things where I bet they're kicking themselves now. Damn, what a great character we made, and we killed him off so well. It's the same with Shin in Fist of the North Star, and I think it's probably a similar thing with Maul. Like, damn, what a great character. And we killed him off too soon. I wish we hadn't. And obviously Dooku as well. Like, Dooku should have been in it the whole time. He was great. Bad Batch was alright, wasn't it? I mean, everyone loves Clone Wars, but I think it's probably a lot more beloved now that you can binge it very easily. I was watching it whilst it was coming out at the time, and it was painful. It was painful at times. Like, you'd have like a really good arc with characters that you wanted to see, and then it's just like some fucking comic relief droid episode that's going to be 6 episodes long, and you have to put up with watching some droids for 6 episodes, just like, you know, like a baby episode aimed at kids. And you know that you're screwed for the next 6 weeks until this crap wraps up, and maybe you can get back to a Sarge Ventress or someone interesting. So now it's okay, because, you know, you can just get those 6 episode droid nonsense out of the way quite easily. But having to wait 6 weeks of real time was very, ugh. There was a lot of filler. I thought. Even in Bad Batch as well. Like, come on. You know that every episode counts here. We could do without some of these filler episodes. A sprite-based fighting game based on Fist and North Star. What, the official one? The Arc System did. It has some incredibly long combos, as I remember. Right, I think we got the head done. Oh no, hold on, we missed one thing. There's a highlight on the nose here that I forgot. Don't have to do it for all of them. I'll do it for like half of these frames and then just fade it out. I think that'll do us, won't it? Alright, so how does that look? Yeah, that's good. That's fine. Right, what time are we at? 2 hours. Another coffee break. What do you think, chat? There's 86 people watching. I want a yes or a no from all 86 of you. Do you want to get a coffee break? No, it's fine. I'll just assume yes. I'll go get a coffee. I'll be back in a couple of minutes. See you then. Talk amongst yourselves in the meantime.
A very special cup of coffee. A new standard in richness, a new standard in pureness, blended together to give a new standard in smooth. The Gold Blend standard, only from Nescafe.
It's only memories of Earth and the rich smell of this coffee that keeps my spirits up. Coffee. At least we'll reach our destination soon. Coffee. You make a fine cup of coffee. You've made my day.
Are you taking your coffee break now, Alan?
Yeah, that's right. You want some? Coffee. And I had to go make coffee for 2. Hurry up, would you? My coffee's starting to cool off. Coffee, my salvation for my day-to-day drudgery. Coffee. A little bitter, but still an excellent blend.
Boy, he should switch to decaf.
Hello. I'm sorry to bother you, but I'm having a dinner party and I've run out of coffee.
Come in.
Thank you.
Will Gold Blend be too good for your guests?
Oh, I think they could get used to it.
It's a very sophisticated coffee.
They have very sophisticated taste.
Do they?
Yes. Well, I must be getting back.
Now, golden roasted, richer, smoother, Nescafe Gold Blend.
Have you met your new neighbor yet?
Oh, Popped in for coffee.
Come on, Dad. You're playing Vicky, not Andre Agassi.
Don't be so sure.
Agassi.
Hi, call me Andre.
Nescafe, Andre?
You bet. Nescafe sure is coffee at its best. That's the best thing served to me all week. Who's up for doubles?
Yeah! The best days are Nescafe days.
今結構忙しいんだろ？そういえば例の歌の歌詞はで
私はあなたが好き。
Days looking new and bright, and you're gonna start it right. Folgers starting to brew, the aroma's calling you. The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
Mornings are brighter with mountain-grown Folgers because mountain-grown coffee has more enticing aroma than any other kind.
The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
Please enjoy this footage of velvety smooth beans, followed by a well-shot close-up of a hot brown liquid that's brewed by mixing heated water.
All over the world, the word for great coffee flavor is Nescafe.
We're the world's favorite brand of instant coffees.
In America, Nescafe's great flavor comes two ways.
We're the world's best-selling too.
Nescafe Regular in the red label.
If Nescafe can please the whole wide world.
And now Nescafe Decaffeinated in the green label.
We can sure please you.
Same kind of flavor. Nescafe Regular, Nescafe Decaffeinated. What's your pleasure?
お嬢さん方を応接室に。
はい。
美味しいコーヒーを入れましょうかね。美味しいコーヒーができましたよ。
I only showed you that to remind you you desperately need your fix.
男の温度が上がった。飲んで飲んでまた飲みたい。缶入りコーヒーウエスト。
Go west.
いつもそばにいてね。
ボス、私のそばにいてね。ボス、決して私見捨てないでお願い。Boss, I can't live without you. Boss, I can't live without you.
Boss, いつもそばにいてね。Boss, 私のそばにいてね。Boss, 決して私見捨てないでお願い。Boss, I can't live without you. Boss, I can't live without you.
A very special cup of coffee, a new standard in richness, a new standard in pureness, blended together to give a new standard in smooth. The Gold Blend standard, only from Nescafe.
It's only memories of Earth and the rich smell of this coffee that keeps my spirits up. Coffee. At least we'll reach our destination soon. Coffee. You make a fine cup of coffee. You've made my day.
You taking your coffee break now, Alan?
Yeah, that's right. You want some? Coffee. And I had to go make coffee for two. Hurry up, would you? My coffee's starting to cool off. Coffee, my salvation for my day-to-day drudgery. Coffee. A little bitter, but still an excellent blend.
Boy, he should switch to decaf.
Hello. I'm sorry to bother you, but I'm having a dinner party and I've run out of coffee.
Come in.
Thank you.
Will gold blend be too good for your guests?
Oh, I think they could get used to it.
It's a very sophisticated coffee.
They have very sophisticated taste.
Do they?
I'm back. Hello. Hope you all got a tasty beverage. Let's continue. We've got the helmet done. So I guess we'll start on the body. The body. Let's see. How's it looking? Yeah. Yeah, that's looking alright. I still need to add, you know, glows and blinking effects on these lights. But I'll do that when everything else is done. Okay, we'll start here. Actually, let me merge these layers. Don't need so many layers. We'll have a new layer. Here we go. Okay, maybe on the right layer. Alright, we're doing it. We're doing it, boys. Full speed ahead. I do like the commercial break, yeah. I like when I was doing R-Type stuff as well. I like the R-Type one that I put together, and the Street Fighter one as well was quite nice. This tune is what I believe the children call a banger. This was my Star Wars Squadrons back in the day, Ace 2. 2-player, head-to-head fighter plane simulator on the Commodore 64 in 8-bit. Worked about as well as you can imagine, but the theme tune was great, and this is it. Good night. Yeah, have a good sleep. A cigar? How cultured. I don't think I'll reincarnate. I'm staying in heaven if possible. I've enjoyed my time here, but I don't know if I'd do it again. It's also depressing these days, you know. So even if I could like live my life again in and do the whole 80s and 90s thing again, that'd be fantastic. But I know in the back of my mind, I know that everything was going to go to shit in the 2020s. That everyone was going to hate each other. That the internet was going to go from like this amazing Wild West frontier to just like a place where everyone fucking hates each other and it's nothing but clickbait and bad news and doom scrolling. I don't know. Which song's that, Mackie? Marketing. I think that, yeah, they've figured out marketing brands, you know, TV, media, everything really have figured out that misery just sells better than nice things. And you know, it's probably nostalgia, but I look back in the 80s and 90s just seemed to be, obviously I've only lived in the UK, so I can't say for anywhere else, but it just seemed to be like, you know, a time of people going, wow, the future's going to be great. We're going to be in space and things are just going to get better and better. And now it just seems like everyone just is waiting everyone's waiting for the planet to be destroyed. If we don't all kill each other first over really petty things. It seems like a shame. Fine Young Cannibals. Oh, okay. A Pumpkin Man. Maybe Pumpkin Man will pick us up. Things got a bit depressing there for a moment, but this will fix it. Not yet. Not yet, we're not. No, hopefully things will get better. in dystopias before, at least we had, you know, really cool cityscapes and things. And there you go, Pumpkin Man. We're all Pumpkin Men now. Animating on ones is just a nightmare. I'd never get anything done, so I'm not really on twos. I'm on like 1.5, I think. But yeah, I found 18 frames per second is it's pretty nice compromise between full on 24 FPS and the 12 that you so often see. There's always an annoying little gap here every time. You always have to fill it in manually. I can turn it up. I can turn it up more and reduce the gap, but it's going to start spilling out eventually. Oh yeah. Battle Angel Elite is nice, isn't it? I want to live in a dump. I want to live in a junkyard where every time you walk the streets, you have to be worried about people literally ripping your spine out to sell in the black market, leaving you alive with no spine. But no, it's a very cool aesthetic though, despite all the safety risks. I think Bubblegum Crisis is the one that I'd like to live in though. I mean, you know, it's quite dystopian and giant evil mega corporation rules everything. But, you know, some really nice underground rock clubs and stuff. Music's great. The TIE Fighter flyby scene is going to take a while, I guess. Leaving you alive with no spine. That would be some pretty metal lyrics. Iron Maiden have a new album coming out in a couple of weeks, I think. My mother sent me an interview with Bruce Dickinson from Iron Maiden earlier. She was like, "Here, watch this," and gave me a link. I was like, "Oh no, what's this going to be?" But no, it was good. It was Bruce. Boomer crime is heavily exaggerated by the news. Okay, Boomer. Yeah, I'm using 18 FPS. For, you know, really high action scenes, I might go up to 24 sometimes. Usually 20. This one is 20 frames per second. And that was about 400 frames, I think. So TV Paint was struggling a bit. It was struggling a bit with the background is what was doing it though. Why would the... Well, because I'm a boomer, I guess, yeah. Yeah, we're thinking about a Blu-ray collection with everything I've ever animated on it. Could be quite cool. Yeah, publishing things is always a bit scary. I remember when we put out a bunch of t-shirts a year or so ago. Had all these really nice t-shirt designs. And, you know, then the t-shirts were sent out by the company printing them and they just looked terrible. They looked awful. And it's just embarrassing, you know, my name and my artwork's on that shit, and it looks terrible. It doesn't look anything like the preview image, and so we just had to pull them all. We had to pull them all down. It was a shame because they were, if they'd have printed, they look pretty good. So I'm always very, very scared about putting stuff out that requires you going through another company. I mean, the postcards, Mackie's found some good people for the postcards, so they always print fairly well. The thing with the postcards is the postal service bending them, despite putting a bunch of stickers saying "do not bend" on. Most arrive fine though. Boomers ruining society. I'm not a boomer, am I? I'm Gen X, I believe. What am I, Mackie? I'm in that age bracket where practically everyone I know my age is married and has kids at this point. And, you know, they've bought a house and everything, and I'm just sitting around in my pants animating. But I also have a life though, so that's kind of good. You know, I can go anywhere. Well, if it wasn't the endless pandemic, you know, I could go places. But you know, once you've got kids and stuff, you can't really anymore. Whereas I can, at the drop of a hat, I could be like, oh, what's this? A convention in London? I'll just go down to London tomorrow then, if I wanted. And I can stay out as long as I like, and my parents don't have to know. It's great. So I quite enjoy I quite enjoy living like a perpetual uni student, I guess. Like I said earlier in the stream, my mental age is about 15 though, so you know, you can't hold it against me. Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem with the t-shirts. I foolishly thought that you could take your artwork and just put it on a t-shirt, but no, you have to specially design something that's, you know, designed specifically to put on a t-shirt and only has 4 colors or whatever. How foolish! I mean, it would have helped, to be fair. It would have helped if all of the various t-shirt printing services, like Redbubble and whatnot, actually said that up front. That should be a common problem that lots of people are having. I don't imagine that, you know, you're born with that knowledge. So that would have been good to know up front, but no one told me. A bunch of people got really terrible t-shirts. We pulled them down, but some sales did go through, so some people got what I can only imagine is the most disappointing experience. And I feel kind of bad about it, and also very embarrassed, because like I say, that's my name on that. And I look like a fool now. If there's one thing I hate, it's looking unprofessional. Everyone loves Vader. It's so weird, like looking at all the comics and stuff like that, where you watch the movies, and it seems like Vader and the Emperor get along pretty well. And then you read the comics, it's like, I'm not sure where this direction came from exactly, but it's just the Emperor just fucking up Vader every moment. every issue or two, the Vader just gets his ass kicked by the Emperor and left to die on some planet somewhere with like his arms and legs ripped off. It's like, really? I don't know. This seems like an abusive relationship. Vader should get out of this shit. You never get that impression from watching the movies that this kind of stuff would have been happening. I haven't. I haven't seen that. Now that's marketing right there. Yeah, peace and order. Stopping civil wars, making the trade routes secure. I watched, I was having trouble sleeping. I watched Solo again the other day. Just like, you know, watched it in bed. And it's so quippy. It's so quippy. Every other line is like a Marvel quip from someone. It just doesn't feel like Star Wars. It really hit me watching it. I've only seen it twice. This was only my second time watching it, but it really hit me like, wow. Did Joss Whedon write this? Every line's a quip. Come on. Come on. It's ridiculous. I don't know, I thought, you know, I quite liked Rogue One, so I'll give Solo another try. I think the feminist robot was going a little bit far. Like that was a little bit on the nose. Not sure who that was aimed at. No, it was a different film, Maggie. It wasn't the sequel trilogy. It was one of those standalone films that they made. No, I don't need to watch those again. There's nothing that would benefit a second viewing, I don't think, of the new films, the sequel ones. Because I mean, you know, Solo wasn't great, but at least it had a beginning, middle, and end. You know, it had a story structure to it, which I don't really think those sequels do. They just seem like they were making it up as they went along. I don't hate them nearly as much as a lot of people on the internet do, but then that's because I wasn't expecting anything to begin with. Because, like I said earlier, like I'm super jaded and don't look forward to anything. You can't ruin my childhood. It's impossible. I trained for this. This age that we live in, I trained for this by being a Doctor Who fan for years. Being a Doctor Who fan was nothing but disappointment and suffering. Vader isn't all on one layer. He's on a few layers. No, I would never say that. I think Disney are doing a great job. Disney are doing the best they can. that's my diplomatic answer. A great job in a very hard situation. How's that? How genuine did that sound, chat? I mean, I don't get job offers from big studios and stuff, so technically I can just badmouth everyone. But yeah, I try and be professional though, I guess. Because even with something like what was it, Rise of Skywalker, which I think pretty much nobody likes, That's the impression that I get. Like, pretty much nobody really liked it. But there's a lot of people worked on that movie, and they weren't going into work every day going, I'm going to deliberately put out a bad movie. You know, all of those people doing the catering and doing the lighting and holding the boom mics and everything, they were probably wanting to make a great movie. So I don't want to belittle their efforts, you know. I'll just say that I guess it wasn't for me. I'm old. Nothing made these days is aimed at me anyway, so obviously I'm not going to like anything. Like, nothing's made for old men. I may as well just either die or retire like Howard Hughes did to a penthouse in a hotel and just live there watching cowboy reruns of the History Channel for the rest of my life, because no one's going to make anything for me ever again. Yeah, the fill tool. So here's the fill tool, and you have this thing source here. You can have it on. Ignore all of these. You only ever use layer or display. If you have it on layer, it only sees the layer that you're working on currently, which is, if I turn the rest of these off. So this is the layer I'm working on currently, and if you have it on layer, then it only sees this. So if I try and fill, it'll fill like that. But if you put it on display, it takes the entire picture into account. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Wish. Thanks. I appreciate it. It's like the Magic Wand tool in Photoshop. Yeah, you put it on display and it takes the entire picture into account, and so it sees all of these individual lines and it can fill them. Fair and balanced, yeah, that's true. That's the thing though, like, I'd never get a job from Disney anyway, because what could I possibly do for them? Like, if they wanted me to do, I've got to stop saying like. I sound like a 20-year-old valley girl. What could I possibly do for them? If they asked me to do an animation, it would take me months and months just to do two minutes of work, I think. So I don't think they'd ever have anything that they'd want me to do. Also, I'm just like a random guy. They've got animation studios that they can hire. Maybe. Yeah, something a few seconds long I could do. It's that point of the stream where I get really quiet. I've noticed there's always a part of the stream that happens like 3 hours in where I get very quiet. It usually coincides with like some atmospheric piece of music that comes on. Like this Driller remix, for instance. It is the intro song. It's a different remix of it. But it is, yeah. And I don't know, I guess I just really like it. If you go to the arcade in VR chat, you can see Driller on the screen. I made sure I included it. Indeed, yeah. I am concentrating too. There was a new Evangelion film, wasn't there? I haven't watched the new ones. I'm not really interested in being trolled anymore by Anno, to be honest. But I hear that it was supposedly the final one and it's finished now. I don't really know anything about it, but I can guarantee it made no sense. That would be my guess. Yeah, it has. I use very secret brushes that were passed down to me from my uncle. My uncle Hayao Miyazaki. He said, use these brushes and you will instantly be better at drawing. And he was right. No, I can't believe they have an ending. He'll do another one in a couple of years. It's the only thing that makes any money for, well, not even Gainax, because it's Studio Kara now, isn't it, or whatever. But it's the only thing that makes them money. What are they going to do without it? They'll have to make new stuff. It's like asking whoever it is to stop making The Simpsons. It's never going to happen. Does anyone watch The Simpsons? Like, who's watching it to make them keep making it? Must consume. I'm using a much thicker brush than I normally would. Normally I'd be on 3 for pretty much everything. Indeed, yeah. Oh yeah. It'll be interesting to see him actually do a new thing for once. I hope he doesn't, you know, go and ruin Gunbuster, although they already did that, didn't they, with Diebuster. I still haven't brought myself to watch that Furikuri sequel. I really like Furikuri, and I don't know if I can... I don't know if I can take it. I make a big pretense of... You can't disappoint me, I'm always disappointed, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to watch Furikuri get absolutely just ground into the dust. Was it bad? Has anyone seen it? Was it like Furikuri Progressive? I think it was called Progressive, wasn't it? I mean, I imagine it's filled with 3D, would be my guess, and well, I don't know. I mean, it's a good reason to start drawing. It's a fairly good reason. It was Mundus being destroyed, yeah. We have no idea really what it looked like on the screen since it's been lost. The tapes have been lost, the original recordings, so I only had one screen capture to go from. And I came up with that. Everyone seemed to like it. I kind of ripped off from Macro 7, to be honest. There's an episode where a planet gets destroyed and they use a similar technique. Yeah. I remember that shot on the bridge where Haruko kisses, what's his name? Shinji. And you get that amazing zoom, that amazing rotating shot. I was shocked at how good that was at the time. I think they probably used 3D for that. I would guess at least as a basis and drew over it maybe. I'd have to watch it again. Yeah, I think you had to be there at the time. You had to be there for the whole Furikuri thing. It was quite a thing at the time. Oh, we've been going for 3 hours. Yeah. think we're going to stop soon. "15 whole frames, yeah." Did you watch Super Milk Chan? Were you able to? You watched the dub of it, really? Super Milk Chan does sound like a hentai to me. But then a lot of things sound like a hentai to me. Let's see how we're doing. It's coming along. It's coming along. A lot more work to do on the body though. Not least of which is filling in these bits. Ah! Oh, Bodacious Space Pirates. I quite enjoyed that as well, actually, yeah. I think we might call it a night there. We've been going over 3 hours. But we got a fairly decent amount done. So let's continue this next week. How about that? So yeah, thank you. Thank you for showing up. As always, Patreon if you want to see all the completed stuff I've got so far. And have a good night. Go and eat something, chat. You've been watching this for a long time. Go and get a drink. Have a snack. Go to bed. But yeah, thank you. And I will see you again. Cheerio for now.